All right, perfect. Hey, everybody. Thank you all, first and foremost, for joining. Sorry for the little technical difficulties as we were getting everybody logged in. Um, it's really nice. I'm seeing some familiar faces with some people that I talk to regularly, so that makes me pretty excited. I'm just going to go ahead and get everything set up on my side. But before we get into showing everything, I know a lot of you are very excited, and you're probably like, Nicholas, shut up. Stop talking to me. I want to see the product. We really want to open up and just talk about the motivation, understanding why we built this product that we're going to show you guys, and just everything that has been going on for the past few years that has led up to this very moment that we're here. Christian, if you want to take it off, if we can kind of start from the beginning, I'll let you go ahead.
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know me, I've been a loan officer my whole career, my whole life. And we started this company based on the pain points that we've dealt with. And as I wanted to grow and expand my team, we found so many limitations and we decided to start building some automations. And just like everyone else, we've tried everything and it didn't work. So we set out to build the best system ever. At that time, we were, focused on Follow Up Boss, and it solved a big problem. But as we started to work with larger companies and larger teams, we saw the pain points coming in, and we decided about 3 years ago to work on this idea of building CRMs that are not just an open system for the mortgage industry that is built for loan officers, but also for broker owners and wholesale lenders to work with them. So the idea behind Leaf360 is to always keep it as an open system integrated with everyone. And I know it sounds ambitious, and that's been the goal. We've succeeded with real estate agents, and now we're opening it up with wholesale lenders. And hopefully, this can continue to expand and help both industries grow together as the brokers' market share are expanding, right? And Nico can give you his story, his short stint as a loan officer, and why this actually has made his life a little bit better
Yeah.
in the industry.
Yeah, so when I first started in the mortgage industry, I had no intention of ever joining the mortgage industry. I always say like I kind of just got dragged into it by chance. I was in college, and I think I was in my third year of college at the time, and I think COVID had hit around that time, and I couldn't find a job anywhere. So my dad had a small brokerage at the time, and I needed to pay the bills, and I said, hey, can I come help you? And he obviously welcomed me with open arms, thank God. And when we first started, it was working on spreadsheets and whiteboards and our personal cell phone. And I thought to myself, man, like I'm working 7 days a week. I feel like I'm gonna go crazy, and I'm barely closing a deal or two a month. So I can't even imagine how somebody who's closing multiple deals, let alone as a successful loan officer doing this for a long time, how they can really maintain their sanity. And since day one, we had always used Arrive and Follow Up Boss. And Follow Up Boss, when my dad introduced me to it, I started to kind of regain that sanity a little bit. I was like, okay, I have a CRM now. Things are organized, but they were never really connected at first. So it was still a lot of manual work that was being done. And just between the calls on my cell phone, the text messages, trying to manage that, I was doing maybe 2 to 4 loans a month. So if you really think about it, for every loan transaction that you're doing as a loan officer, ideally you're communicating with at least three people. You have the buyer, and or the borrowers. You have the buyer's agent and the listing agent, assuming we're obviously talking about purchase. So these are all people that you want to stay in front of, not just because of obviously the potential business after, but we want to make sure that we service them properly. And I started to realize as I started hitting that threshold of 4 or 5 loans a month that it was becoming extremely difficult for me to manage staying in front of all these people. Because now I'm having my cell phone ring left and right. I'm having to log into my Gmail. I'm having to log into Arrive, having to log into the lender's portal, having to go into my CRM and just manually update everything. And, my automated emails that were supposed to be going out at the right time, they weren't because it was up to me to move the client. So, all in all, to say this, it really opened up a need that we realized that okay, if we're really going to scale, and we're struggling at 4 or 5 loans a month, how can we expect to get to 10 and 20? And that's when we met our partner and CTO. He's on this call, but he's in the background. Our partner Thabo, who we love so much, and he came and joined our mortgage company at the time, and we had no idea we would be starting this venture at Leaf 360. But he came to help us kind of clean things up and help automate and really make everything work in sync. And long story short, after we saw how we could integrate Arrive with our CRM and our emails and just get everything connected, all of a sudden I went from doing 4 or 5 loans with my brother to almost 20 loans a month. And I'm not saying this to brag or to flex. Like I'm really not. But what I'm trying to tell you guys is that I was doing the same amount of work. I was still working almost 7 days a week with open houses on the weekends, but I was working 5 days a week, open houses on the weekend, the same amount of work that I was doing to get 2 to 4 loans. But all of a sudden, we're closing 10 to 20 at this point. And it was really, if I could say, it was insane to see how setting up systems, having a something that you could fall back on. One of my favorite quotes, if you guys have ever been on any of my webinars or any of my YouTube videos, I always say we don't rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our systems. If your systems are not working for you, you could be the best salesman in the world. You could be the best. But if you're out sick or you're not able to show up to work one day, all that is going to topple. But if you have a system that's working for you, even when you're not there, and I don't necessarily mean that it's doing 100% of everything, but it's doing the bare minimum. You're going to be consistent. And I always tell people, it's so funny. Everybody thinks you need to have the latest and greatest tech, right? Everybody's always wanting the fanciest features, and I tell people sometimes simple is better, less is more. Because what happens is you start looking for the fanciest tech, and you're like, yeah, I want all the AI, I want all this fancy stuff. And then all of a sudden you find that you're so overwhelmed trying to learn the system that you get away from the reason you got the system in the first place, which is to help service your clients, obviously close loans because you need to pay the bills, right? And ultimately grow your business. So, after a few years of essentially getting things working for our company, obviously, Christian, if you want to take it over, this is where the idea of Leaf360 began and how we can help other mortgage companies.
Yeah. I mean, I really don't want to keep everybody just listening to our story. Just wanted to make sure, we kind of explain where we come from because being in your shoes more than 25, how old are you? 25 years? 25 years probably. And doing this, the part I hated about originating is what I delegated. I grew my team. Maybe my partners here, my previous colleagues were here. They knew me. I wouldn't touch an app. I would talk to my client, push it off to my team, but then nobody was putting any information in the CRM because they didn't use it. They were all in Encompass and then Arrive, and then some processors didn't want to use the CRM, and now I have to explain myself, and then you had to get a loan partner to teach them and everything. So the idea of integrating everything is really to make your life simple. At first, learning a new system, it's painful. I can tell you that I worked off my notepad until probably this whole thing launched and I was done originating. I was like, okay, you guys take care of it. But everybody else that came in and adopted this was way more organized than I was. Like my processors stopped working after 5, after 3 sometimes. Their job was done. Everything was organized. They knew what was going to happen the next day. Knew the conversations that happened at 10 p.m. with the client. They didn't have to ask what's going on with this client because they saw a conversation in the conversation logs. So these are the things that we're launching, and we're taking the time to be very clear. Before we give you our new upgrade, we're testing this out. We're making sure that it works the way you need it to work. And it's just going to be an instant upgrade for all you clients that we've been working with. You're just going to have this upgrade coming in. The
Yeah.
wait list is on purpose so that we make sure that when we give it to you, you're streamlined. We don't want you tinkering with toys. You're not making money playing with the systems. And we're going to continue to have a lot more of these group calls because we can't handle one-to-one as much as before. And we want to make sure that we're giving you that white glove service. So if you need the support, we're available. I mean, other than that, I really have nothing else to say, Nico. You want to show up a couple of things that you're working on for us?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Do we want to kick off with the workspaces, or where would you
yeah,
like to
go
start?
for it. Explain the concept and then move into the features that we've launched.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen here, and I hope this is a decent size, guys. Actually, let me let me know if you can see this. Well, hold on, it's taking a second to load up.
If you guys have questions, drop it in the chat. I don't know, Nico, is it too late to open up any for them to be able to step in?
No, there's a Q&A, and we also have the chat, so feel
Yeah.
free to message in there,
Can you
guys, if you
can
have
you
any
open up the
questions.
audio and video for anybody that wants to talk?
What? Sorry? No, I'd have to click and open it up. If there's any questions, we can open it up. Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, guys, once again, if you have any questions or anything at all, please put it in the chat. Q&A. If you have any specific questions, that they will pop up. I already see we got some stuff showing up right here. Awesome in the Q&A. Oh, the chat. Oh, hold on. Let me fix that. You said the chat is disabled? Okay, let me fix this 1 second. Okay, I'll have Christian. Oh, here we go. All right, there we go, guys. Sorry about that. Okay, perfect. Okay, now you guys can openly chat. Okay, if you're paying attention, can I get a yes in the chat? Can I get a yes in the chat or a thumbs up? Hopefully it works now. All right, cool. Okay, so we got some engagement. Awesome. All right, thank you guys. Was that Josh that said that? Okay, shout. Thank you guys. Okay, let me get back to it. Sorry, I'm not gonna bore you guys with that. So, anyways, guys, you're obviously probably wondering, Nico, what are you showing me, right? Like, what are we looking at on the screen here now? This is obviously our brand new system that we're launching, but Leaf360, we're not just a CRM. If you notice on the top left over here, hopefully you all can see my screen. If you're not looking at it, I am sharing my screen. We have this is Leaf360 Workspaces, and essentially what Leaf360 now is we're no longer an integration tool. We're a whole lot more. We're creating an environment or an ecosystem that will allow you to pretty much run every aspect of your mortgage business inside of one system. The current way that it looks right now is as a loan officer, you have to sign up for a CRM. If you're a company owner, you have to have a payroll system. You probably have spreadsheets or some other type of system to manage recruiting, onboarding, and hiring. If you're a wholesale lender, that's another topic. But once again, it's very difficult as a wholesale lender to manage your network of brokers. We work with a lot of wholesale lenders that are, really using spreadsheets, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it is quite encumbersome and it is very annoying to have to pay for multiple subscriptions for multiple systems to pretty much just run one business. So the idea behind our workspaces is that when you sign up with Leaf360, you have access to each and every single one of these workspaces, and there's a few more that you can't see here that pretty much cover everything that you would need to grow your mortgage company. And the beautiful part about it is each and every single one of them are siloed. So if I'm in my CRM, which is obviously primarily to engage with clients and business partners, everything there is built for the CRM. If I'm in my recruiting pipeline, that is a whole different thing that is optimized with workflows and obviously a completely different format for managing, onboarding, and recruits essentially. So today we're really going to focus more on the CRM aspect because obviously I know that the majority of people in here are brokers. And if there's any questions that I miss, Christian will probably just interrupt me and ask mention it. But let's get started. So right now, guys, I just want to make this very clear. This system is undergoing a lot of updates all day, every single day. This is not our final product. Okay, this is the early access that we are giving you guys a little sneak peek to. If you're here, you've most likely signed up for the early access. If you have not signed up for it, I encourage you to do it because that way, when we do launch, you will have priority access. So let's get started with it. First and foremost, when it comes to a CRM, one of the most important things as a loan officer or even as a business owner is that at a quick glance, I can get a nice overview of where my business is at. That's the idea with our dashboard page. This is going to be fully customizable, and I want this to set the theme for the entire webinar, that everything is going to be fully customizable. Christian he loves making everything customizable for everybody. When we were building this, he said, look, man, I like it this way, you like it that way, so we're going to do different themes and we're going to do different buttons. And it's to show you that we know that every single person runs their business differently. So we don't want to just lock you into one thing. We want to make sure that you can actually come in here and make this your very own system. Now, the idea is that within our dashboard, I'm going to give you guys a quick run through because I don't want to bore you with all the specific details, but essentially you're going to have a quick view at all the most important things that you need to see: revenue, closings, conversion rates, etc. We have an AI coach, which we're going to talk about the AI a lot, that actually goes through the pipeline. It recognizes different actions, different upcoming dates, possibly rate locks, extensions, contingencies. And it's actually going to let you know, hey, these are some things that you need to take care of that are super high priority. Here's some things that are risky. We have some rate locks expiring. We have some missing tax returns. There's an appraisal delay. And then obviously here's some more opportunities as well. So this is just a small snippet of what the AI is capable of doing. The more information you have in the system, the more information it's obviously going to be able to read. Over here, you have your pipeline funnel. You can just kind of at a quick glance see on everything where you're at in your system. Over here, we have different forecasts and goals, and then obviously referral partners as well. At a quick glance, you can just see all of your top referral partners and your sources, which is extremely important. I like when I log into my day that I know exactly who is it that I need to be targeting because I don't want to waste my time talking to people that are not going to help me bring business in the door. I'm not saying that in any kind of way. It's just we need to be smart about how we're spending our time. There's only so many hours in a day. And then obviously we have our action center as well. Once again, this is all going to be fully customizable. Now, moving on outside of the dashboard, what we've done is we've built out these different pipelines that are all fully customizable. So, what are pipelines? Pipelines are essentially literally just spaces that you're going to house your client's data in. Now, once again, this is fully customizable. If you're not a fan of sales and loan, you can change the name and you can add more, remove some. That's fine. But the idea is that we're separating our pre-application clients from our actual clients that have applied. So if I were to go into my sales pipeline, I can fully customize this and I can essentially create these different focus views for clients that I want to target. So if I'm looking at targeting my new leads, those that are not contacted, my hot, my warm, etc., I have these different filters that are already pre-saved. So I can just log in and get right to work. This is fully customizable. And if you're a team owner, you can customize this for your entire team. And on an individual level, you also have the ability to customize this for yourself. So I know with a lot of systems out there, this is an issue we see all the time. When you're in an enterprise account, if the company sets something up, you unfortunately have very limited access to change anything. We want to stray away from that. We do want to give company owners the access to provide that, but we also want to give individual team members the ability to customize their own view as well. So that way, if they're running their business a little bit differently, they have full freedom to. So really, once again, you can make this your own system. Loan pipeline, pretty much the exact same thing. This is going to actually pull in data from your LOS. So for those of you that are already existing Leaf360 users, you guys already know how awesome this is. The fact that anytime an application is created or updated in your LOS, that it automatically pulls into the CRM. Same thing, even more robust. We have a direct API integration with most LOSs out there that allow us to pull tons of information. So no more situations where when your client is applying, that all of a sudden they're still getting a drip campaign as if they're a lead. The system is going to automatically recognize any new or existing applications within your LOS, Arrive, LendingPad, Encompass, Lotus Softbite, etc. And it's going to pull them into the appropriate stage within the CRM. So now there's no more he said, she said, I forgot to update this. As long as everything's being updated in your loan origination system, you can rest assured that everything is going to be updated here within your CRM as well. For those of you that don't understand the importance of this, it's not just the client that we're trying to take care of. We're also trying to take care of the business partners as well. And what happens is if I don't have my systems communicating back and forth with each other, there's going to be some loss in communication. There's going to be something that's going to be missing. And I want to make sure that all of my business partners, my buyer's agents, my listing agents, my clients, the title company, that everybody is on the same page as to where my client is at. A lot of loan origination systems are very limited when it comes to marketing, when it comes to email sequences and whatnot. So we kind of fill that gap in. As long as we know where the client is at, we can handle the automations within the system here. And speaking of automations, I will actually just dive right into that because I'm sure some of you are very curious. There's a few more things that we're going to get into, but on the topic of automations, this is our workflow dashboard. We'll get into it, but essentially this is our new lead welcome sequence. And at a quick glance, you can see all the different workflow steps and what goes into it. But if I were to open up this actual template, there's a lot. And for those of you workflow freaks like me that enjoy automating things, you're going to love this. But at a quick glance, if I were to zoom in, I could see that anytime a new lead or an application is created, I can have the system check the loan purpose. So it could say, is this a purchase, refi, cash out, etc. And then depending on that loan purpose, it will send a customized email. Then I have a little delay that goes in. I have an automated SMS that goes out, just sending a quick, friendly introduction. Hey, this is Nicholas. I'm your favorite mortgage broker. When can we connect? Something like that. I can have a follow-up task get created, not maybe just for myself. I could have a task created for my loan partner or my assistant or my processor. Doesn't really matter. You can fully customize this. I can have it wait a day. It even has conditional logic to see, hey, did the lead respond? Did they answer? Did they open your email? Did they click on it? And then from there, they can get funneled into another branch of continuous automation as well. When it comes to automations, we are going to have a pre-built library of automations already built out for you. So I know a lot of you may say, hey, this is a lot. Don't worry. We're going to build out a lot of this for you. But guess what? We're not just automating for our clients as well. We're also making sure that we have automations going out to our business partners. So as you can imagine, within this workflow, I'm actually going to click back into it. I can have emails and SMS going out to business contacts. I can have an AI agent that's actually reaching out as well There's so many different capabilities within this automation section that I could easily spend an hour talking about it. But this is not just for staying in front of your clients. This is for staying in front of your business partners. This is for making sure that your workflows are intact, that your team knows what they're doing, that anytime a client moves the stage, that you have tasks that are being created, that emails are going out, internal notifications. This is making sure that everybody is on the same page, and it's going to allow you to work a lot more efficiently. On the topic of agents, I know we just talked about workflows, and you guys are like, well, Nicholas, I mean, I want to stay on workflows. I know. But for the purpose of this, I want to talk about this. um, how many times do we get a CRM and we have the ability to manage our clients, and when we go to manage our business partners, it's almost like, wait a minute, I don't really want to see all those fields and information that I would set up for my clients as for my business partners as well. I just it's redundant, it's not necessary. So what we've done is we've created separate pipelines specifically for your business relationships. So if we head over to the business contact section, you'll notice we have real estate agents, we have attorneys, we have insurance agents, etc. The idea is that every single one of these pipelines are all fully customizable with the fields, the stages, the columns for their own individual pipeline. So for example, if I were looking at, Thabo, I wouldn't need to see as a field the amount. If I'm looking at a buyer's agent and a title attorney, I don't need to see the amount of volume that title attorney has done. Right, that's just not necessary. But for my agents, I do want to see certain information. So the idea is that every single one of these profiles will be fully customizable to match that contact type. If I go into my real estate agent's profile and any of my business partners, you'll also notice this little referral section. So for a lot of you that are doing business with realtors and working with agents, I really want you to pay attention to this part, because this is something that was super important for us to build out. A lot of times we work with a lot of agents and we don't really know where our efforts are going. We also don't even really know how many leads are we working with this person? How many closings have we had in the past? What do our conversion ratios look like? I know a lot of companies that do this manually, and I'll tell you, it's a nightmare. It's tons and tons of spreadsheets, all sorts of different integrations, and it can be very, very cumbersome. What we've done here is within the system, we track every single referral, whether it is a lead, it is a current client, it is a past client, with every single business partner that you work with. Now, there's a few ways that you can do this. One of my favorite ways is simply to go into the realtor's profile, and you can add a lead within here. You can assign it to yourself or any loan officer on your team. And what would happen is it would automatically create a synced connection between that referral and that business partner. Now, why is this important? When Leaf360 was first founded, we worked as an integration partner with Follow Up Boss. We still do. But the reason we did that was because agents were tired of loan officers inviting them to their system to get updates. Imagine you're a real estate agent and you're sending a loan officer business, and now the loan officer is like, hey, download my app or go into my system to see the updates for the client that you gave me. And the agent's like, man, I use Follow Up Boss. I use my own CRM. I don't really want to have to leave my system because I'm comfortable. I'm already busy enough as it is. Why can't you meet me where I'm at? So when Leaf360 was first founded until this day, we've created essentially an integration between the loan officer system and the realtor CRM to allow live loan status updates, referral sharing, notes, all sorts of communication to go back and forth while working in your own internal system. So if I'm a loan officer, I can work in my CRM and the agent can work in their CRM, let's just say Follow Up Boss, and we can connect and communicate back and forth on our client without having to leave our own individual system. So that's essentially what this is. When you add a lead into here for a business partner, this is actually allowing the agent to get that lead created in their system. So if you imagine, you can create a lead in here and it'll automatically send it over to the agent. If they don't have a CRM, it'll just simply email them and send them a text message, right? But imagine how cool that is. You create a lead, and if the agent already has it in their system, it's not going to create a duplicate. It'll just update it, assuming that the information is obviously accurate. So I'm an agent. I'm just, I'm relaxing. I'm out on the road. I'm going to an open house. It's an amazing day. And bam, all of a sudden, hey, I just got a new lead from Christian. I'm like, what? That's so cool. Let me check it out. Bam, it's already in my CRM. We're meeting them where they're at. And vice versa. The agents have the ability to send you referrals that will automatically drop into your system. So, if you're a loan officer, I'm sure this has happened to you. Actually, can I see in the chat if this has happened to anybody, where maybe somebody has referred you a deal, or maybe like a lead, and then you might have missed the message. Maybe you missed the email. Maybe they left a voicemail, and all of a sudden you lost out on that referral. I see Todd said, yeah. Yep, yeah. I think we all can I think we all can relate to that, right? I had an agent like, hey, I sent you a referral. I'm like, where? Where did you send it? Check your email. I'm like, you mean the email that I get thousands of emails a day? Why would you send it to me there? You just called me 2 seconds ago. Why would you email me a referral? Well, the referral emailed me, so I forwarded it to you. And I was like, man, I was like, text me, please. It's urgent. So we can't, unfortunately, we can't expect every agent to do that, right? We just can't. So we need to get our systems up to par. So that way, when all of a sudden they see how we're working, they're like, man, I want to work like Nico does. I want to work like Todd does, like Peggy does. I want to work like them because they got their stuff in order. Moving on to the performance metrics, anytime I open up an agent's profile, I can see every lead they shared me. Unfortunately, with Dabo, who's also our business partner, him and I have zero closed loans. It's very unfortunate. But no, seriously, I can see the closed volume, conversion rates, average loan amount, loan created. All of this is customizable. You'll be able to pull up all sorts of metrics that you would like to see, obviously. And then we'll also have a customized application link for your realtors. So they have their own little link that they could send that when a client fills it out, it would automatically assign them to that realtor. Going back to the pipeline, once again, this is all fully customizable. We need to treat agents just like a client, literally, just like a client. I need to have stages. I need to have filters. I need to have a sequence of how I'm going to recruit an agent. I need to have a sequence for how I'm going to keep an agent, nurture them. And for the agents that I no longer work with, what does that follow up look like? Which is extremely important why we have these different business pipelines out. For example, if I'm recruiting, I have my prospects, I have my contacted, meeting scheduled. All of a sudden, now they're an active partner, they're a top partner. This is just a simple pipeline. We get very complex. But as you can see, we really need to funnel them through the process. We treat everybody the same, in my opinion. Does it pull realtor production not done with us? Christian, if you want to talk about that, actually, that is a great question before we move on.
Not out of the box, but we are going to integrate with Redder, maybe Model Match. So anybody that has Redder or Model Match, we can integrate it. It's
Yeah.
fairly simple, but we want to make sure that we got the foundational side of the CRM set up for everyone, and then you could put all the bells and whistles in it. The most complex part was creating the workflows that allow you to reach out in all sorts of ways. And to piggyback on what you said, how agents are not going to really follow the rhythm, they work their way. What we've done already is we can capture emails that come to your email from an agent and parse it out and put it in your as a lead coming in. So that's one of the workflows that we built out. Next, we're going to work out if they text you a lead, we'll also put it in the CRM for you as well. But yeah, connecting to agent data, that's really good. It's going to definitely help your business development. So and it's probably going to show up on our dashboard. Nico, can you show over the partners overview? We're still
Yeah,
we're
definitely.
still working on the metrics there. So we're missing a couple of things. But on your partners overview, at a glance, you need to know who you're working with. If you're working with 5 agents, easy. But if you started going after recruiting and you got 20 to 30 agents and you're
Yeah.
probably not getting business from 5 of them, you want to increase the rest, you got to treat them like a client, like you said. The same way you
Yeah.
manage leads is the same way you got to manage those relationships,
Yeah.
So this will give you a very high level view and as detailed as you need to know. And if you start, let's say you're working with an agent for 6 months and you're not paying attention to it, but for 2 months you didn't get a lead or you didn't get anything. You just thought you got busy. You didn't realize that they're sending business elsewhere. You don't want to wait for Redder or MMI to give it to you 45 days later. You
Yeah.
want to know right away, like, hey, I'm used to getting leads every week or every month. What's going on here?
Yeah.
So that data is good, but the best data is the fact that you got a cadence going on with an existing partner because the wolf's at the door, like they say. Somebody else is already trying to get that agent. It's the same concept we built out for the recruiting back office in terms of anybody that wants to grow their team and recruit and manage their loan officers that are coming in, just in case. And I know on this call we have a couple wholesale lenders on here as well. The idea was to make it very easy to communicate with your partners. The same thing if you understand what we've launched. It's very, very basic right now, but if your company has 200 lenders, and what we did with Canopy TPO is that we can put all your lenders in there, and we are the lenders that join us will be able to put their guidelines, test out the AI, and you as a loan officer don't have to email that AE for questions because if the lender has already been verified, You can ask the AI any question. And if you want to notify the AE, they'll get a message and they'll get a free account. We're giving every lender one user account, a very limited account just to communicate with you if your company is working with us and have included all their lenders in the platform. So this is kind of like a lender marketplace, and we're looking to really improve this. So if you're working for a company with, multiple LOs and you never worked with a certain bank, you might take a look at the reviews from your office. I don't know if this is live, Nico. Is
You
MLB on
could,
here? I don't know if you're logged in.
uh,
I don't know if he's okay with me. I'm gonna share this. Yeah,
yeah,
so we here's a connected lender that we can actually talk to and ask questions about guidelines.
yeah.
You can click Ask AI and ask anything. And actually, if you click on the global search, it'll open up. I mean, view the card itself. Actually, open it
Oh,
up.
okay. Let's do that.
Yeah. So here you'll have a larger window. You can ask AI in the top middle. Yeah, there you go. And you got generic questions. You can ask it some funny questions. As long as the guidelines are there and updated, it's going to answer you based on everything that the lender has.
Yeah.
Again, we're not done. I'm not done with the output. We're looking for ways to make it better. But imagine you're working on a client, a lead. You're in your sales pipeline. You're not going to hop over here. Inside the client itself, I think it's live. Can you open up one of the detail views?
Yeah, definitely.
In pipeline or sales pipeline,
Oh
you
yeah.
can
So,
you
so
can
you
act,
want to move on from this?
yeah, you can
Okay.
actually ask questions inside a client's profile.
Well, before we move on to it, we have some
Yeah.
questions about this section.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So Bill said he's been using his own GPT for something like this. Yeah, guys. Obviously, the integrated AI is going to be a huge time saver for a lot of people. What if we want to get info from multiple lending partners at once in the AI? That is a great question. Do we have a feature
Yes.
that they could ask
Yes.
about
Yes. Yes.
multiple
But
lenders?
notice that, yes, I'm gonna tell you right now, most of those work with 2 to 3, but these days, way more. You can
Yeah.
create your favorites. You can favorite your favorite lenders, so that way you can gear your questions towards that. And if you click on the AI, you can say, hey, I have a question for this specific lender, or can you tell me lenders that do these things, right? That do these types of programs. You got some weird ass slopes, sorry for the language, but you could put it in there and it'll if it's in the data, it'll find it. And if it's not, then I'm not turning it on, but it can go online and help you find it, but I don't trust anyone online. So stick to your network. Right now this is not yet done. It's focused on just our, you know, premier lenders that we're working with. Our premier
It
lender
is
actually
pulling
is.
their data actually, which is really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Um,
But go
so
ahead and open up a client profile. You can do it within a client because your chats can literally be saved based on that client. Because before you even take the 1003, you might know some information about your client and you can ask AI right there.
yeah.
And if you know that, and if you know basics, right? You know the score, you know the type, you know the loan type you're about to do, you could start shopping it. And it's a really good tool to use so you don't have to wait or do it offline. Go on your own GPT and search, or go to your email and search your emails for that latest lender guideline. Because if you got a whole bunch of lenders you're approved with, even the ones you're not approved with are emailing you every day about their products and programs and rates. But here's an easier way to get in touch with them. And we didn't launch it yet, but we do have a chatbot that's going to allow you to pretty much chat with anyone, even your AEs, if they're using the system. So that's also going to be something that we're looking to launch. It might launch with the initial product. And if anybody, is interested in it, I'd love to get the feedback to see if you really want that. But initially, we just have the chatbot and a way to send a message so that they can reach back out to you.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys were paying attention on screen as Christian was talking, but I gave it a little bit more details about, oh, look, it's me. Just gave it a little bit of details about myself, and was able to say, hey, this is the best lender that you can go with, just based on the information that we have available within the system. So pretty cool. And obviously, with discretion, right? As you feed it more information, it is going to obviously understand more, but still, nonetheless, really cool. Uh,
Yeah. And by
with
the way, it's still not live. I'm still testing it. So I'm testing this myself, and until I see the outputs, and then we'll start sharing it in a beta format. And then your feedback would make it even better.
Yeah, Kenneth asked, do we need to upload each lender guideline or will they be there automatically?
When you join and you upload your lender list with your AEs, you send them an invitation for them to log in and upload their guidelines for you, and they can do a lot more. They can put certain things in there. They can put documents. They can put anything that they want you to know, and this could be kind of like their brain that they're building out for you.
Yeah.
And it's not a way for you guys not to talk anymore, but we know how it gets. Brokers get super busy, AEs get super busy, and then when it comes close to the end of the month, it's really hard to get information, right? And if there's a
Yeah.
time zone difference, you don't want to wait 3 hours. Hopefully, you guys stay in touch so to the point where your files are always updated with their latest and greatest products so that you can ask the AI. And on the AE side, it's going to help them be a lot more organized because I'm sure most AEs don't have a CRM and they're using their cell phones,
Yeah.
just like we do, right? So yeah,
Todd asked a great question. Is there any plan to eventually have it analyze income bank statements?
we built it, but I'm not launching it right away.
Yeah.
It works. I just want to make sure it comes off really streamlined for you guys, so that you're not playing around. Because if you want to analyze a bank statement, I wouldn't suggest don't do it. Don't put it in GPT directly because your data is not safe. Everything here is secured. It stays in our network and in your private profile. We're not selling your data. We're not sharing your data back to these LLMs. It's completely secure, and I'm not the technical guy. I just know that this is how we had to do it and it
Yeah.
works. So people that are using GPT have to be very careful when you're putting client data because it's pretty risky.
Yeah.
It goes back to the source, if you understand. We host
Yeah.
everything ourselves. We built this from the ground up for a specific reason. And not to bash any other company, I just feel like a lot of them were built by loan officers that stopped producing too long ago, or tech guys who spent 6 months in the business, closed 2 to 3 loans, and said, "Hey, I figured out a problem. Let's go solve it." And they don't even understand what a loan officer's life is like.
Yeah.
6 months is not enough, a year is not enough. So I think with your feedback, everything you're asking, just continue to send it over to us because it's going to help us push forward what's more important. We didn't launch our borrower application portal because most people use Arrive and it's really good. So we're not
They have a
rushing
great point of
that.
sale.
Pre-qual letters are really good with Arrive. That's our next launch. What we are going to give you, it's not showing here. We built out a really nice email template designer, bulk email, mass texting. Am I skipping ahead, Nico? Because when he
No,
laughs at
you're
me,
not,
I'm
because
skipping ahead.
Mario just asked a question about using AI to provide basic emails for agents and marketing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
It
yeah,
works. I like what I've seen so far. And I'm actually building it with Thabo, so it's pretty cool.
yeah. You
Um,
guys will see some examples of those emails in our newsletter
Yeah,
very
you'll see
soon.
the new emails because we're testing
Yeah,
it out ourselves before we give it to you. Because the last thing I want you to do is tinkering with toys. This is not where
yeah,
you make money. I keep telling you guys that.
yeah,
Like, you're not gonna make money automating everything. You're gonna make money
yeah.
reaching out and using this to keep you organized. The faster you respond, that's how you make more money.
And like Christian said, guys, toys. Look, there's a lot of cool stuff in the system, but at its core, we want it to be very simple. Don't
Yeah.
get lost in the sauce. Do not get lost in all the fancy tech and whistles, because I will tell you, every single person that we worked with hundreds of companies at this point, and over the past 3 years, the people that come in and are asking for, I want all the fancy tools, they almost always never end up using the CRM, and they find less success with it than the ones that come in and say, hey, I just need something basic. I want this to run well and I want to be able to manage my team. Those are the people that we see that are doing the production. So I'm not saying AI, like, this is amazing. It is great, but I want you guys to come in with the mindset as well that, hey, I want to build it from the foundation up. I want to keep it simple.
I love what Bill wrote. He actually asks enough questions to get the client's disk profile. That's pretty cool. In the Ask AI, I could turn on the memory to talk to them about your client. You could save that in there. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Thabo, take notes on that, man.
Yeah. Brian asked about microphone integration. I believe that will be as well
Yeah,
for the AI.
we're testing it, but I don't want to give it to you right away. It's kind of buggy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very easy to add on. And by the way, we're not trying to do this to become a very expensive system. This is why we're taking our time to build it ourselves. So we're not
Yeah.
renting software from other companies. Everything's controlled by us. So, we're still starting out our prices at 59. And I think it's going to be 59 to 99 a month, which with all the add-ons.
Yeah, Josh said, yeah, Josh, you can ask the questions in the Q&A. We'll go through it. Um, as an LOS, we have so many things we do on a file to get a pre-approval. Do you have a checklist of different tasks to complete a pre-approval? Can you add that to a client? That's a great question. So this is actually something that we already do for a lot of companies, because remember, guys, For those of you that don't know, Leaf360, we're not just like starting, right? This is just our new system. A lot of companies that we work with, Christian talked about it. When we ran our mortgage office, we had a dedicated processing team, and it was extremely important that for every milestone, that our processors had tasks and checklists that they could check off to ensure that they're doing their job, right? Not because we wanted to check on them, but just so that way they can hold themselves accountable. So what's great about the automations aspect as well is, if I'm building an automation, when let's say I have let's say like a loan stage changes, right? And then I can actually have a task get created right here, and I can have that task get assigned to the assigned processor or the loan partner or even everybody on file in order to get it checked off, essentially. So hopefully that answers your question about checklists and tasks. But that is something that is very key, and that for any loan milestone, I recommend it. For those of you that maybe don't have a established internal workflow, where you don't have the most robust, SOPs, standard operating procedures, and you kind of need to have a checklist for your team, I highly recommend it. If you, we will build this in for you guys. Like we want to have this at launch where, if you need these checklists, we'll build it up for you. So that way, the second a file goes under contract, you have a task that says, hey, contact borrower, do this, do that. That's very easy to set up. We are getting a ton of questions. Okay. At the moment, we're using FUB as our phone provider. Do you have a system be all in-house, or do we need a third party? Christian, do we need a third party for calling, texting, and emails? What do you think, Christian? He's muted. Okay. Never mind. I'll answer that. So as far as calling,
Sorry, guys, my audio.
yeah.
Say it again.
No, no, no. So as far as like calling, texting, we are going to be providing that in-house. Are we going to have that at launch? Do we plan on having that at launch?
Yeah, we've already
Yes.
launched it on the other workspaces and it's been working pretty well. I've gotten good feedback on it, and it's going to have all the bells and whistles and a little bit more geared for loan officers.
Yeah.
It's AI transcription, also AI coaching will probably be launched maybe a month after. We're still tweaking it up, but the idea is that all your calls will be recorded just like Follow Boss, but the AI transcriptions will understand who you are. It's built for mortgage. That's the difference with the other CRMs. Unless they take time to really prompt it and work with it, it doesn't work well out of the box. And so we're still working on that. But at launch, you guys will have the ability to add a phone, and you can text from it, and you can also do the mass emails with
Yeah.
the template designer that we're going to show next week.
On the topic of calls and texting, obviously, if I were to go into any of these tabs, you can actually see the communication history between you and the client or your team. So it's extremely important that, and I recommend this to everybody. I know a lot of us, loan officers, especially those that have been in the industry for a long time, that, you have everything on your cell phone, and I understand that. But when it comes to growing a business, if everybody is siloed in their own cell phone, you if I can't see my processor's phone call history, if I can't see their text messages, that's a big issue. So for those of you that already have a dialer, maybe like a Google Voice number, you use a dialer from another CRM, you can port that number over so you can maintain that same number, and it will fully function where you can call, text, it'll direct to your cell phone so you can still make the call from your phone, but you can also make it from your desktop as well in the browser. And then all those calls will be recorded. So if you think about it as a team owner, even a team leader, or even a solo loan officer, the ability to track every single phone call, text message, email, it's huge and it's invaluable, because now I know everything that's gone on with the communication with this client. I know everything that's gone on with the communication between my team and the client, between me and the agent that's involved, right? That's extremely important.
Um,
Um,
yeah, I wanted to answer some questions. For James, no, it's not go high level. And questions about can we WhatsApp? Yes, we're gonna launch the WhatsApp texting, but not right away. I want to make sure that when we start onboarding everyone, that everybody's smooth. Our current clients are going to get priority. We're going to start launching the additional chat capabilities, but WhatsApp is easy to connect. Yes.
Yeah. We got some rapid fire questions, Christian, if it's okay if I go through those really quickly, because I
Yeah.
like these a lot. So, by the way, shout out to Josh. I love Josh. Very, very long time client of ours. I love that guy. Can you send pre-approvals from the system? Is that feature going to be available at launch? That
Sorry.
sending pre-approvals from
Uh,
the system?
Not right away. No.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you guys. Most LOSs do it so amazing that like we do plan on having it, but it's not going to be available at launch. Can you have multiple loans under a client and not overwrite the loan details? Absolutely. If we're looking at a client's profile right now, this is not the final view, but you can actually see the different loans that they have available right here with the information. And then the idea is that you'll be able to actually click in on a loan and then it'll take you into that specific loan. So I actually really want to talk about this because I love
It'll
automation.
take you to your LOS.
It'll take you to your
That's a
LOS.
shortcut
And
to your LOS. So if you really want to get on your LOS, then you can.
yeah, and the beautiful part about it is that a lot of times in most CRMs, when you're trying to run automations with a client that has different with multiple loans, it's very difficult because it's usually based on the contact stage. What we're doing is we're allowing automations to be built out based on loan stage and all those details. So you can essentially have a past client campaign for a client that has closed with you in the past, while also having a hey, you're conditionally approved because now they're conditionally approved on a purchase with you, running simultaneously. So you'll be able to manage and market with multiple loans for the same client. Can you mass text leads in a pipeline from your own phone number and not the office line? So when it comes to automated SMS, a third party number is going to be required. Obviously, you do not want to be mass texting and calling leads from the same number that you are calling and texting from. I mean, Christian, if you want to talk about that, that's just a nightmare.
Yeah. Okay, so I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah,
You're gonna get your number set up as spam.
it's going to
So,
automatically go to spam, like within a.
but here's to answer your question. Let's say, well, they don't know this number and they reply. It's gonna redirect it to you. And what you can have is on your signature. This is how I was able to transition people off my cell phone. Is I put on my signature. If they called me, I would call back from my CRM number. And so that's the way you want to look at it. And the first mass text you're going to send, you should give them a heads up, maybe through email, say, hey guys, add this as my office line in case you see this and see that. You're going to tell by the delivery rates. We've had great success with delivery rates because of the way we manage your outbound texts. So
Yeah.
I'm very confident that once we launch, you're going to actually see your open rates. We track that as well. It's not on this yet, but we will show it.
No, it's not there, but you will be able to see open rates, how many times they click, if they viewed it. So you'll have, you can see deliverability status. So you'll see if an email was outbound or inbound, if it was delivered, if it was unsuccessful, if it bounced. You'll be able to see a lot of information like that. Power dials, can you call someone, and when you disposition that lead, can a pre-text bill go out? Yes. So as part of our
One of our
automations,
templates, that's probably one of the templates that we're testing out on over here
yeah.
in Google. Yeah.
Yeah, on our automation. So essentially, if a successful now, obviously, when it comes to that, that's very tricky, right? Because you have to be very careful when you're building out those sequences because you don't want an automated SMS to go out every single time that you have a power dial that is successful. Because if you had a conversation with the client and an automated SMS goes out, that doesn't make sense. So that's something you'll have to be very careful with setting up, but it is possible.
Yeah. You don't you can continue to use Fault Boss, and this would be your backend that covers everything. If you love Fault Boss like I do, I've been using it since 2017, so it's
Yeah,
I would keep it. But if you don't want to keep it, the idea is to give you everything you need as a mortgage professional over here in
yeah,
one system. But we're still connected to Fault Boss. We're still integrated with Fault Boss. So your agents, you can still communicate with them, with the
yeah,
chats, with the
yeah,
updates. They still have that virtual embedded app in their system that can see the milestones or stages that you're going through, depending on
yeah.
your LOS.
And for your agents that don't have a CRM, we have the portal. So for those of you, we're not going to talk about it too much right now, but for those of you that do know us and work with us, we have a portal that we offer as free to all of your agents that allows them to stay in touch and keeping track of all the clients that you work with. Yes, we will be providing live Zoom support, especially as we are giving early access. Guys, we're going to be slowly trickling early access. Okay. We do not want to open this up to everybody. And I'll tell you why, because we want to make sure that if you are using our platform, that you are happy with it. We don't want to open this up to 300 people that are waiting and say, hey, go have fun. And then, all of a sudden, a month later, you're leaving the system. That is not our goal. We want to make sure that we can give you white glove support, that we can take care of you, because everything that we build out for every individual office is something that we can learn and build out for other people as well. When it comes.
Just to clarify something, everybody on this call is going to get on right away. And if you're a current client, we're not reintegrating anything. This is just an
Yeah.
upgrade. So if you're most likely with Arrive, everything will appear as it has already been. If your data is already correct in your Follow Up Boss CRM, you're going to see the same data here. It's just going to be a lot more features that we've added that you can actually work with. And then when it comes to workflows, if you're not using Follow Up Boss automations, then you can use the automations we provide here.
Yeah. Does everybody get their own phone number and can they send and receive text and make calls?
I
Uh,
don't, yeah, I think, I don't know if it shows up in the settings. Can you click in there?
yeah, for sure.
You can choose your phone number, area code, everything. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you
Add,
can
add a
assign phone
number.
numbers.
Go ahead, click add a number. It's very
Oh yeah.
simple. Yeah, it's, you know,
Well, we're definitely not going to
you
get
can add
305.
multiple numbers. It's a couple dollars per number. Um, yeah, it's not on.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's not working in here, but
We manage the, how do you call that? The 10 DLC, all
oh
that. We
yeah.
manage it for
So
you. You
essentially
have
to
the
get your
back.
texting and approved,
Yeah.
you know.
And you
Um,
can set up your voicemail. Call routing is super robust. It's more than what you need. And
that also answers the second part of the question. It doesn't just ring their phone number. We can set it up that you have a direct line where it rings all, where it's a round robin, so it'll distribute across the team. Sequential, where you can put people in order. It can ring the person who hasn't answered in the longest time, and then obviously set up custom voicemails. Would an LO stop using another CRM? If you want to, yes, you can. This is a complete CRM at launch. So I know Christian just answered it. If you're already using Follow Up Boss and you're like, hey, I don't want to transition, your data will still be in here because you're a Leaf360 user. So if at any point you decide you want to transition from your existing CRM, it's going to be very smooth. Can you mention an LOA in the record for something they need? Yes, absolutely. When it comes to mentioning people, it's so our genius partner, Thavo, I don't know if it's available here. Yes, it is. You can at mention anybody in the file, whether it is a team member or a business partner. You can actually at mention them. So even if they're not in the system, they will get an email and a notification, basically, seeing what you mentioned. So if I were to create that note over here, and I were to do that, it would actually save it within the system, but it would also notify that person, which is really like I'm not trying to like toot our own horn, but I think it's super sick. Group
I think you can at message somebody internally as well.
Yeah, that's what I just said,
Or
internally and externally. Yeah, and
sorry,
so
sorry.
no, yeah. So any internal team members, group texting will obviously work. That is extremely important. And then we
So
will have a mobile
your
app.
business partners will never see your internal notes unless you actually send it to them, and you're not even seeing it here because we're still building it out. It's going to be a lot more robust than what we already have with Follow Up Boss.
Yeah,
So it's gonna be very similar, but a little bit more geared towards what you really needed. The limitations that we had, we couldn't do it. So on this side, it'll be probably on the right-hand side to make it completely separate from what you keep for yourself.
yeah.
Uh, and right
Um,
now, you can instant message your agents in and out of Follow Boss.
and they won't see the notes that you have internally, by the way, just to make that very clear. They only see what you mentioned. So you're not, the notes that you put for your team, unless they are specifically at mentioned on it, they will not have access to it. Templates for text, emails, appointments. Yes, absolutely. Text, email, templates, all that is going to be available. We actually, if I have access to this over here, so we have campaigns, but not only do we have email campaigns and SMS campaigns, but you also have the ability to create templates within there as well. So if I go over here, oh, you see, we can't access this page right now. It's being worked on. So, but you guys can see it right here. This is our template page. This is very simple, by the way. But we're literally constantly updating things every single day. So I do have limited
That's
access right now.
pretty complex for
What was
me.
that?
That's pretty complex for me. Anyways,
Oh, well, I'm saying compared to the AI, text templates are easy. The number provided, can it be used with AI assistance program for scheduling? So that would be part of our outbound AI voice agents. For example, over
not going to launch. We're not going to launch with it.
yeah,
Most likely, we're not going to launch with it. Probably in the next month after, within a
yeah.
month of launching.
So that would be our voice agents right here. This is the call intelligence. So you can actually create scripts, and then you can actually train your AI voice agent for inbound and outbound purposes as well. But that's not going to be at launch, guys. Kind of like Christian said. Okay, but everything you guys are thinking of, we've thought about it as well. We didn't just do this on our own, guys. We talked to a lot of people, so we've been hearing this feedback for a long time. Um, Any other questions? Travis, I have FUB, Agent Legend, and Leaf 360. Will this condense those systems into one? So yeah, it is essentially condensing everything. If you're obviously very happy with the current systems that you have, then by all means you can stay on everything. But we will be when I say condensing, you will have Follow Boss. You could still continue to use Follow Boss, or you could decide to switch to the system. Some of the systems will have more features, obviously, as we launch. So it's really up to you to make that decision on what would make sense for you
Yeah, and um, Agent Legend does a lot of things that we're not planning to do.
at
Uh,
all.
we do the mass texting, but if you're using a lot of the stuff that they do, they're going to be an integrated partner as well. So we're going to
Yeah.
add them on into integrations.
Yeah. So
Any
when we say
system that you're
condense, it will
using, we're
integrate.
going to connect it to, you know?
Yeah.
So we have requests for fellow, Redder, model match initially, and we already work with Agent Legend. But the phone system that we have, if you port a number, you can always port it back out.
Yeah.
So
If we wanted to move from FUB, does anything come to mind that we would lose? Uh, I can't think of anything. Um, yeah,
oh, I don't even want to talk about moving from FUB yet. Wait
yeah.
until you log in and try it out. But we're not trying to we don't want to say that you're going to cancel FUB because if you have a lot of business with agents and sometimes you just want to be on that platform, it's probably worth keeping it. But this is going to be a back end that you can actually run your business with, and your ops team can be on here. I encourage you to have your assistants and processors work on the same system as you. It's important that they're in sync with your clients, you know. You can get all the coaching you want, but if your systems suck, you're going to work harder than ever with a good coach, in my opinion.
Yeah,
And if you're blessed with business because you've been in the business forever, great. If you want to sell your business one day, you want to be able to delegate, you want to be able to say, hey, I can take a vacation, then you need a system. You need an office that can actually dial in. And if you're not doing this, bigger shops are, bigger companies are. They're trying to step into your business. So the idea is to give you all the tools that you need so you can actually build a business and not be the employee of your business, you know?
yeah,
As much as we like to say we're self-employed, we're really working for someone. That's the client. You really want to be able to create a life by design, then you have to take the time to learn how to organize your day and keep it as simple as possible. This right here looks super complex. But when you start working in it, you kind of know, hey, I'm going to work on my business. I'm in the sales pipeline and I'm going to look at my loans. I'm going to go to loan pipeline and then I got my business partners. If you ever want to once a week check in on your metrics because you know you're going to work on that, you're going to work on marketing, then this data, this information you're getting is going to tell you who you should market to. It's going to tell you who you're converting. How's your conversion rates? You need to know that. You should audit your business every month, and that's how you know if you're growing. It's not about I had a busy month and next month is slow. Those peaks and valleys that you experience is because you're not paying attention to the numbers that are not in front of you. You're paying attention to the busyness, the clients calling you at any time of day, the realtors calling you for questions. The idea is to be so organized that you could delegate it to an assistant, and that person can be as smart as you. The day you leave the business, they will fill that gap. Just know that. It happens very quickly. Experience. So no one's gonna miss you. Maybe two or three, but everyone else's life goes on. So you build a business that can be so solid that you can eventually take some time off and have a team take care of your clients and still get your positive reviews. That's
yeah,
something that I really focused on. The only way we grew our reviews with our small shop was literally customer service, impeccable customer service. It's not about answering quick, it's about answering correctly. And I mean that's just for another call, guys. We could talk about that, but we've taken an hour. Guys,
we
thank
have
you
a few
so
more
much.
questions though.
Yo, you
We do
still
have,
do? My bad. Okay,
yeah,
go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. I wanted to make sure we got to these last few questions before we do close out, guys. Oh, I lost it. Sorry, guys. One second. Where did the chat go? It's okay. Here we go. Got it.
Oh, the
Okay.
mobile app.
Yes.
Maybe we'll
Yeah.
show it to you next week. We'll show it to you
Yeah.
next week, Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll show you the a mobile app next week. Additional uses like a processor. I would recommend that everybody gets their own seat. A lot of people want to cut costs and try to have their entire team log into one loan officer's account. The issue with that is that when you're tracking notes, calls, texts, and emails, it all still comes from that same one person. So I would recommend that you get your processors and any assistants a seat if they're going to be client facing, meaning that they're going to be communicating with the client. managing things, it's extremely important that you do that. If you have a VA that entirely, or an assistant that entirely acts as you, then I understand why you would want them to log into your seat. But if they're going to be communicating on their own, I would recommend that they have their own seat. Um, I have a system that an agent and I are building out that will pull everything and push it into a new CRM, notes, reminders, etc. Awesome. Okay. I don't know if that was a question. uh, when can we get this? I'm in the middle of setting up GHL. Yeah, we're trying to get this launched as soon as possible, guys. I don't want to give you an exact date, but we are trying to get this launched ASAP. We're here at the webinar, meaning it's very soon. A lot of you have been hearing from me for a long time saying we've been planning on doing this, but we really did not want to do this webinar until we were confident that we were ready to go. So this is all good signs, people. This is all good signs. I think that we've answered. Todd asked again about the cost. We're going to be anywhere between 59 and 99. Um, any other questions, guys? It has been over an hour. We still have about 80% of people that jumped in at the beginning. So that's pretty impressive. Thank you guys for staying on. You guys have devoted an hour to this meeting. I thank you for your time, genuinely. How much for additional user? Not 100% sure. um,
It's probably going to be the same for now, guys. Look, the average CRM costs a lot more than that. I think it's
yeah.
around the average with phone systems and all is 120 and
But,
up. I
yeah.
don't know of a system for 59 unless you're on the real estate side, but we're doing our best to keep costs low, but to give you all the features. Because don't forget, we're connecting to different systems, and we've managed to automate this so that we can keep costs low.
Yeah.
My eventual goal by the end of the year is to make the average setup free, where you're just paying 59. It takes us some time to do some connections, to do some automations. So that's the only reason why we have that small onboarding fee to cover costs. At the end of the day, we want to make you pretty much ahead of the game. We want you to win, because if you can get in on this and you can get your business organized, then you can start to compete. Look at this. New people coming into the business, the first thing they look for is a CRM. That's what I've noticed, because they've understood it. But if you've been in the business long as I have, or longer, or more than 10 years, you weren't thinking about that. Every company you work for told you, hey, just go into your Encompass, go into your LOS. That's your CRM. It's not your CRM. That's where you stay
Yeah.
busy. That's where you get
Yeah.
distracted. In your email, your Outlook, forget it. You're never going to
Yeah.
be productive, or you're going to work hours and hours and hours and hours. Believe me, I used to wake up at 4 a.m. and finish my day at midnight, 4 hours of sleep half the time, and it's not worth it. It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
So
Um,
my goal is to continue to help with coaching and teaching you guys how I would use the system and seeing how we can help you increase it. Because what we learn from you is what we're going to keep adding on. And we might launch sooner just to get everybody's hands without the AI, just so we make sure that when you do have the AI features, you're going to use it. It's not just a junk. You don't want to send something to your clients that they feel like is robotic. That's the
yeah.
only thing that we're holding back on.
Yeah. Last few questions, guys, because I really want to make sure that I answer your questions, obviously. But I know we're limited on time. Will we pay for FUB? If you're using FUB, you pay for FUB. If you're not using FUB, you don't pay for FUB. AI receptionist, yes. When our AI, when that's launched, you will have that. Call cadence on leads and prospects, absolutely. Arrive pushing to Leaf and Leaf pushing to Arrive. We can only push information to Arrive that Arrive allows us to. So Arrive has recently launched their direct API integration, which has opened that up. So we will be able to push and pull as much information as they allow us to. Um, okay, year-over-year production report and possibly goal comparison. So this is a small example of that, Corey. I know you and I have we're going to meet as well. We have a whole separate reporting pipeline, which we're not showing you right now. That is literally just a dedicated reporting space. So yes, you'll be able to track all of that. Do we need FUB? If you are planning on using FUB as your CRM, Leaf360 will continue to integrate. But you can sign up for Leaf360 without follow-up boss. Yes, we will be a full-blown CRM. Kenneth, you are on the wait list. You're good. I double checked. So I'll make sure that you get the message. And then my processor in LO, would he be able to have a separate pipeline? Absolutely, guys. We want everybody to have their own separate pipeline, so they
A
don't feel
separate workspace,
separate. Yeah,
separate
sorry.
CRM. Yeah.
Yeah, separate CRM. And once again, as a company owner, you could set it up, but there's a cost to be on the wait list. No, 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 you're good, man. Go to leaf360.com. All right, guys. And I'll show you how simple it is. Check this out. Bam! Right there, just like that. Just sign up. Loan Officer CRM. I highly recommend you choose that one. And obviously, if you're a wholesale lender, right here, Canopy TPO is our broker marketplace, and recruiting and HR is for those that are obviously, looking to grow their business and recruit loan officers. So, guys, we will thank you so much for your time. All right. I don't see any more questions coming in, so we're going to end it here. If you do have any questions, please email us. You have our email info@leaf360.io. We will be hosting another webinar, hopefully very soon. So thank you all so much for your time. It's been a pleasure. This was awesome. I had a really great time today. Thank you guys. And just thank you all for being here.
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
we'll have
definitely
videos.
we'll have the how-to videos.
Yeah, that's important. Training library because you know we
No,
gotta
it
have some
doesn't
on
come
this.
with all CRMs. It only comes with what's relevant to you. You'd sign up for a CRM, and if you want to grow your team, you can get the back office for
Yeah.
recruiting
That's the
together.
beautiful thing about workspaces, guys. It's like a plug and play. It's like if I need this, I take it. If I don't need it, I don't need it. So we're not going to charge you for what you're not using, obviously. But thank you, guys. Thank you so much. My name is Nicholas. I'm the co-founder. We have been joined by my father, Christian, who is our founder, and we're just very great, very thankful that you guys were able to make it on time and be here today. Thank you.
All right, guys.
All right, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a great day, everybody. We're going to end it now. Adios.
Today.
All right, hold on. How do I end it? Oh, here we go. All right. Bye, everybody.